Yeah, good morning. Well, we're out here today doing a little prospecting, and this second day out here. I was out here the day before. Came across this boulder right here and got behind here. Interesting enough, in the beginning, didn't find any gold, but I was finding bird shot, lots of it. And I figured, well, if there's bird shot, soon enough, follow is going to be some color. So I dug down. Probably went through about 3-4 pans and the color started to show. And when I got down to about a foot or so, it really started to show. I was getting like 5 pieces of color in every pan. But it was time to head out because by that time it was pretty late. So I'm back here the second day to kind of see what more we can produce out of this little spot here. And before I begin, I wanted to show you something. Now, if you're like me, you're backpacking into these places because they're just off the beaten path, and those are the best places you want to go because the places that are easy to get to have been hammered pretty hard, and usually you're not going to find much. So to get to a good spot usually means you're going to have to hike in there. So I don't like carrying a lot of heavy equipment, but a bucket is pretty handy. And I picked this up on Amazon, and this is a free Grace, ready to travel anywhere with you, 16-liter collapsible vinyl bucket. Okay. Now, what I did was I cut a piece of vinyl and I put it in the bottom. Now, and the other thing, I took a piece of hose, slid it, like you see right there, and then you can put this through here like this, just slide it through. And now that gives you a nice, comfortable handle to carry that bucket. So if you got to carry it a distance from where, you know, the pay dirt is down to the creek, I've got 2 of them, but I only need 1 today. And they're light. You could use this, take it out wherever it is you're going and not have a whole lot of weight, stuff like that to deal with. Yeah. Love that mud. That's what I'm talking about. That's where you're going to find it. That stuff that's just, you know, all nothing but clean gravel. Not going to find much in that. But that mud that's compacted with gravel and that in it, that's where you're going to find color. Yeah, some more. Now you want to be gentle putting it in there. I mean, you don't have to treat it like a newborn baby or anything, but you don't want to just fling it in there. Remember, that's a vinyl bucket, but it's you know, strong enough. You're mindful of it. It's about full. Oh yeah. Woo. Yeah, babe. Alright, she's full. Now, I clean that out. That'll probably give me about 2 pans. Classified quarter. Set that right there. I like to wear gloves because that rock, well, actually, I should rephrase that. The missus likes that I wear gloves. I've been in places where I've been classifying material like this, and I've come across a lot of glass, I'll tell you, and I was glad I had the gloves because it'll slice your hands up. So. Of course, everybody's got their own way of doing it. Now, this lets me wash it real convenient. Here's a clump of mud, and I can get that broke up pretty good. Get some of the loose stuff out. And I come in with a tube and put that about that much.
So that's about what it is, and you can really see I got clumps of mud here, and you know there's color in that. You don't find color in that. So I just smash it down on that classifier, break it up, and then the aggregate also grinds it up, which helps. And now you can check, you know, see if you're throwing something away that you don't want to throw away. It's not overcrowded. Give it a quick look. Back in it goes. You can use your hands too, don't matter. Scoop, whatever. Some guys will, you know, classify a 5-gallon bucket and then bring it over, and that certainly works too. For me, it's a little harder to use a classifier on a collapsible bucket, you know. So if you had a regular bucket, then maybe so, but I can't take a regular bucket out here because it's just too clumsy, hangs up on everything. And I like the collapsible. I tell you what, it's nice. And like I say, the other advantage is you're really not going to miss anything, you know. When you do it this way, you won't miss anything. Because it's, you know, you can even see if there's a little clump of mud that you didn't smash down on, you know. And, hell, that little clump could be the one. You see how that mud sticks to it? So you want to make sure you wash your rocks. There's some more. See, that's been dipped, but it's got mud stuck to it. And that color is going to hit that rock and ain't going to go any deeper if it doesn't get washed off with some clay on top of it. And here's a big old clump of mud. And this is about as comfortable as it gets. I can sit here all day. I probably will sit here all day doing this.
Well, we got her filled up. That's how much we got in there. Classified down 1/4 inch. And then we'll see what's in there. You know, recently I picked up a Garrett Super Sluice can and had this Mind Lab, and I figured, well, let's try that Super Sluice, but I still believe it's a good pan. It just didn't work out for me. I like this Mind Lab more, and I don't know, it got to the point to where I was starting to think that the damn pan was jinxed because I just wasn't finding anything. And wouldn't you know it, I said, alright, let's try the Mind Lab. The day I switched over, I was finding color again. So, I don't know if there's any truth to that voodoo stuff, you know. Maybe there is and maybe there ain't. But, when you're out here, you want to, you know, take advantage of every luck that you can come your way, because you know, at the end of the day, I'd rather be lucky than smart. So, I'm back to the Mind Lab pan. Now I'll probably give that Garrett Super Sluice another whirl after a while, but boy, I tell you what, it just wasn't working out for me. I also didn't like the way it came off, the way the gravel came off. The way the gravel kit was coming off, it was, I don't know, maybe it's just my style, you know. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad pan, so you guys that love it, it's great, you know. I'm just saying, for me, I was getting, like, the ponds was coming out like here and leaving the side, and I like it a straight line straight across. And what happened was it was
digging deep into the cons here, but not pulling this out. And so I thought, well, you know, I didn't like that, you know. The Mind Lab, in my style of panning, doesn't do that. See, it holds a straight line. Now I gotta, you know, go side to side once in a while, but it doesn't leave that big gap that I was getting. And I think that has to do with the ridges in the pan. They're pretty pronounced, you know, and they're supposed to be, because that's why they call it the super sleeves. I still believe it's a good pan. It's just not. It just doesn't work for me that well. That's all. Let me go one hand now. And for you guys that are, you know, starting out panning and you're getting frustrated with it, stick with it. I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, panning is really fast. And unless you've got a streak that you're working, you know, setting up a sluice box and getting all that right and going through all that, you know, stuff, you could have run 6 or 7 pans by the time you get that box running right. And then if you only got a little bit of hay to work with, why, you've been better off just jumping in there with a pan and ripping through a couple of pans. Okay, now see, all my ripples are showing now, space between all my ripples, so at that point I'll bring it around. Now I see color already. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of color in one little chunky one, and some bird shot. 1, 2. There's been a lot of bird shot here, and wherever you find bird shot, you know, that's where you want to be. Look at that color, it's just sticking to it. I can't even get it to go down. I love it. I'm trying to get it to go down, and it won't go down. Show you here in a minute, as soon as we get some more of that fines off there. There's still some blondes left. Alright. Almost got it down. I see the color now. And the bird shot. A little more sweet. Oh yeah. There you go. Let's show this to you. There she is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, actually 6 pieces, and that nice little chunky there. And then over down in here, you can see the bird shot. There's 2 pieces of bird shot and a garnet on the right hand side. Well, I'm a happy camper. Can't complain. That's the first pan, and hell, I got another pan and a half in here, and we just started. That's a great way to start your day. Well, fellas, until next time, you all stay safe, and hopefully this virus thing will blow over here before too long. In the meantime, clear skies, and don't forget to wash them rocks.